Chapter 3. Fear of the void, anxiety as the engine of interest. The deepest irony of the human psyche is that we do not fall in love in the presence of the other, but in their absence. It is in the silence between two messages, in the void of an evening without news, that the imagination starts up and attachment takes root. The sleeping man fears the void. He is afraid that if he doesn't fill every second with his presence, she will forget him. The sovereign man knows that the void is his best ally. It is the fertile ground of obsession. Understand the mechanics of interest. The human mind hates open loops. As long as you are available, the loop is closed, the enigma is solved, interest dies. But as soon as you create absence, you open a breach. Her brain starts working for you. Why hasn't he answered? What is he doing? Who is he with? This slight anxiety, this uncertainty about your availability, is the purest form of emotional investment. She spends more time thinking about you when you aren't there than when you are sitting in front of her. The nice guy is prey because he is an always closed loop. He is predictable. He reassures. But by reassuring too early and too strongly, he kills the game. He leaves no room for the fear of the void. Yet without fear of the void, there is no value in possession. We only cherish what we fear losing. By being this inexhaustible resource, you took away the thrill of the hunt. You robbed her of the pleasure of seeking you. The dark irony lies here. Your silence is more eloquent than your most beautiful speeches. A message left unanswered for a few hours is not rudeness. It is a declaration of autonomy. It signals that your life does not revolve around her approval. It instantly recreates a hierarchy. You are the one with a mission. She is the one waiting to be a part of it. The fear of the void generates a tension that can only be resolved by her investment. She must take a step toward you to close the loop. The sovereign man doesn't act out a play of indifference. He cultivates a life so dense that his absence is a technical reality before it is a tactic. He isn't busy to pretend. He is busy building his empire. This natural distance creates an irresistible magnetic field. The further he moves away to pursue his goals, the more she feels the need to move closer so as not to be left behind. Stop filling the silences. Let her wonder. Let her worry. Let her invest. The value of a diamond comes from its rarity, not its transparency. If you want her to see you as a partner, you must first show her that you can exist without her, and that your presence is a privilege earned through time and effort. Chapter 4. The Withdrawal Strategy, Regaining Control of Supply. The most stinging irony of value is that it is not negotiated through words, but through movement. The sleeping man tries to convince a woman of his importance by always doing more. The sovereign man increases his price by withdrawing from the market. The withdrawal strategy is not a sulky child's whim. It is a necessary monetary correction. If your attention has become a worthless commodity, the only solution is to cut off the supply. Look at the mechanics of supply and demand. That which is everywhere is worth nothing. If you are the nice guy who answers present before the call is even made, you are in a state of hyperinflation. Your time has suffered a 90% markdown. To take back control, you must sabotage your own availability. You must become a resource whose access is conditioned by respect for your boundaries. Withdrawal is the only language someone who takes you for granted can understand. The dark irony is that your withdrawal will trigger an immediate reaction, the stress test. When the water stops flowing, you don't throw away the faucet, you shake the handle. She will try to pull you back into your cage of availability through reproaches, follow-ups, or fake concern. Do not flinch. This is where your sovereignty is at stake. If you give in to the first "are you sulking" message, you confirm that you are still her prey. If you stand your ground, if you remain occupied by your own work, you force a reevaluation of your status. She must ask herself, what changed? Why is he no longer at my beck and call? Withdrawal is not an aggression, it is a restoration of your personal territory. It is saying without speaking, my time is invested where it is valued. When you stop being the first to suggest, the first to text, the first to apologize, you create a systemic shock. You shift from the role of the one who asks, the prey, to the one who disposes, the partner. By taking back your time, you take back your power. You are no longer the butler waiting for orders. You are the man with other horizons. The sovereign man uses withdrawal as a loyalty scanner. If, faced with your absence, she invests more to find you, you have won a partner. If she is indignant that her free service no longer works, you have identified a leech. In both cases, the truth sets you free. Do not fear losing someone by being less available. Fear instead losing your life being available for someone who doesn't see you. Close the counter. Turn off the lights of the 24/7 service. Become that distant peak that one must earn the right to reach. Control of supply is the only guarantee of the quality of demand. Chapter 5, The Price of Freedom, Conclusion. The final irony of praise psychology is that the man who desperately tries to be indispensable always ends up being disposable. You thought your devotion was an investment, but it was a sacrifice on the altar of your own erasure. To conclude this dossier on value management, you must internalize a fundamental truth. We do not respect the one who gives everything. We respect the one who possesses what others cannot buy. Sovereignty is not an act of malice. It is the price of your freedom. Becoming a partner, and not a resource, requires a radical paradigm shift. You must stop seeing your time as a product to be sold and start seeing it as your most sacred capital. The sovereign man is not rare through a marketing strategy. He is rare because he is busy existing. His life has its own center of gravity, a mission that goes beyond him, ambitions that ask no one's permission. When a woman enters the life of such a man, she doesn't enter a self-service store. She enters an adventure where she is not the director, but the guest of honor. The dark irony of your transformation is that respect will be born from your ability to say no. It is in your ability to set boundaries, to refuse to be the butler of her whims, and to protect your mental space that you become a desirable entity again. A resource never says no, it endures use. A partner, however, imposes his rhythm. He is not there to fill the other's voids, but to share the fullness of his own existence. By ceasing to be too available, you offer the other the greatest gift, the possibility of truly desiring you. For desire only survives in the distance between what we want and what we possess. Understand this well. If you are everything to her, you will end up being nothing at all. The man who makes a woman his sole purpose condemns himself to becoming her slave. Freedom is the ability to walk alone toward one's destiny, whether the world follows or not. This wild autonomy is the most powerful high-value signal in nature. Do not be the mat she wipes her feet on before entering the life she dreams of leading with someone else. Be the mountain she must climb every day to earn the right to see the horizon by your side. The injunction is clear. Take back your time. Take back your attention. Take back your mystery. Do not be an inexhaustible and free resource that people end up wasting out of habit. Be a precious hidden spring where every access is a conquest. Praise psychology ends here. At the precise moment you decide that your value is no longer indexed to your utility to others, but to your loyalty to yourself. The lucid man does not beg for a place in the lives of others. He builds a life so vast and so magnetic that others struggle to find a place in it. The dossier on praise psychology is now archived in your mind. You have the codes to break the cycle of being a resource and become the prize to be won once again. You are no longer the tap water. You are the rare nectar. Subscribe to never again leave your value in the hands of those who cannot count. Leave a like of distinction. Signal to the world that your time has just changed its rate. Share this video with a friend who is still exhausting himself being too nice, waiting for a miracle that will never come. And to seal your new identity as a sovereign partner, write the word rare one last time in the comments. I will read the reports of those who have finally turned off the signal of their infinite availability. Stay unattainable. Stay sovereign, forever.